Hey everybody, Dan here with Ellie Wilson. The next video we're going to cover today is the case holders. We have several different case holders that you can use with a case trimmer. We're going to go over that and show you the differences. The first one here is a fired case holder for 308, a new case holder for a 308, a standard case holder or all cases for a 30-06. Then we have our pistol holder and Q-type holder or quick action holder. Let's take a look at the 308 first. All of the rifle case holders are reamed with the exact body taper of the case. That's how we get a nice snug fit, which prevents the case from turning in the holder while trimming. It also creates a nice straight holding method, so you have two definite stops. This is where the stop screw would rest, the cutting face over here, and the most important thing is to have the jam nut bottoming out at the end of your cut on the trimmer bearing, which is discussed in the other case trimmer videos. What you want to see is on this case holder you have some protruding out the back and the front. That's the best way that this case can sit in there. That doesn't mean that all of them are going to sit that way. Some could sit like this, so you have maybe 100 thousandths sticking out the front with the rest out the back. You could have 200 thousandths. It doesn't really matter as long as you have some protruding out the front and the back. The other thing that matters is if the case fits snugly enough in there to where it's not going to turn while trimming. The way you put them in there is just like I did. You put them in the holder, you tap it, and that keeps it from turning. To get them out, you just pop them out just like that. Okay, so this is the fired holder. This would be for cases that are neck sized only. So no change in body dimension after it's exited the chamber. That's what this holder is for. I'm going to take one of the resized cases I have, and you can see it spins in here and it bottoms out on the head. That's not good because it's going to turn while you're trimming and you're going to have an inconsistent trim length. That's the reason why we make a fired holder and a new case holder. I'll take that same case, the resized case, and you can see the difference. I'll put it back in here again. Let me put it back in here again. You can see it fits very loosely in the fired holder. But in the new case holder, it's reamed with a different reamer to a different depth. Now some people that have a AR-10 308 are saying that we don't need the new case holder. Well, that's probably true because when you size your case, it's still on the oversized portion. It's going to fit in there fine and trim fine, and that's okay. But for people that have a bolt action gun and they size their cases, full length size their cases, or they're trimming new brass, you will need this holder. You can see how that fits. All of the new case holders will say new case on them, right at the bottom. New case holder. I know there's some glare there, but new case holder. The fired case holders will just list the caliber. If we make a new case holder, we make a fired case holder. Okay? Now on the standard or all cases holder, we make these to work for 95% of the brass out there. There are exceptions to that rule, oversized chambers and such. We do make that modification for you. If you send it in with a few cases, we'll open it up so it'll fit your brass. No charge. We just ask that you include return shipping to you, and we take care of that. So if you look at this, we've got a fired case. We still have enough to trim on this side. The case is snug, and there's some protruding out the other end. That'll give us an accurate trim length. New brass if the bullet was removed here. This one's a factory round, but you can see it goes in further. More of the neck sticks out, but it's held very snugly in there, and it will not turn. So if we only list one holder, or if it says all cases on the caliber index or through one of our dealers, that should work for all of your cases. Moving on to the pistol holder, I like to use the neck die decapping base and a small arbor press. And the reason for that is these are hardened pistol holders with a rim. There's a little gripping rim that's reamed in here, and then we harden these and polish them out. So if you're to put the case in and try to tap it in, it's not going to go in. It's not going to go in far enough anyway to trim. There's none sticking out that side. We do list this all the information. The boxes here are marked that the cases must be pressed in and out with a arbor press or mallet. The best way to do it is take your case. This was meant for fired cases, and the reason for that is Sam Wilson believed, who was a world competition pistol shooter, world record holder, that if you could trim your cases before you go to sizing and crimping, it just made it easier to complete those loads. So you take it, set it on the neck die base, or you can take a block of wood and just recess a space beneath it. And you press your case in, you go to trimming, you have your stop screw that will rest up against the case head. You can see there's a counter bore, so the stop screw will not be interfered with, and a counter bore on this end so the cutting head can enter the holder and trim your case. I made a little piece of dowel to push the case out. It's the easiest way to get the case out without damaging it. Press it back out, and you have your trim case, and you can go to your next one. This is, I agree, a very slow process, but if you're loading up 50 rounds and you want a nice accurate cut and trim length, the pistol holder is a great way to go. It's not for someone who wants to do 2,000 rounds. That's just not what it's made for. So keep that in mind. The next holder that we have is the Q-type or quick action holder. This one is for 44 mag. We can make these for all the rimmed straight walled pistol cases. It drops in very nicely. There's a reamed hole here, and you're going to want to mark the cross pin, and then there is a arrow on there to tell you which way to insert the pin. You want to mark the cross pin because that tells you which way you put the holder in, or which way you put the pin in every time. Because your stop will be resting against this, you'll want to insert this the same, because the dimension on this side could be a thousandth or two different. But if you keep that consistent, then your trim length will be consistent. And it's a real quick and easy way to put a pistol case, straight wall pistol case in there, put it on the rails and trim it to length, and move to the next one. Obviously we can't make these for the straight walled cases that don't have a rim because they won't sit in that little recess. And I hope that clears up all the confusion on the case holders. Thanks for listening, and tune in next time.